All right, all right. Happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome to Flight School. Look at all my beautiful friends and family. What's going on, Mr. Kith Cart? How you doing today?
Doing fantastic.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Look at all our beautiful friends showing up nice and bright and early for flight school. Boy, do we have a great flight school lined up for you today. You asked for social media. And you got it. We're going to do that today. Today's flight school is going to be about how you can rock your social media with intention. So excellent, excellent. Great to see everybody. Hey guys, let's do cameras on. Remember, that's how we're doing flight school. We're coming to flight school camera ready, getting up a couple of minutes earlier to brush your hair, throw on a little makeup if you need to. But cameras on so we can actually be together. And we're gonna do some breakout sessions today. So get your mind right because it's gonna be a participatory event. How much money do I get for saying participatory?
$5.
Do I get 10 if I can spell it?
Yes.
All right, well, keep your money. All righty. Well, good to see you guys. Arthur, what's happening, man? Good morning. How are you today? Excellent. Good to see you. Larry, see you, brother. What's happening? Angel, I'm sure those keys are in there somewhere. Good to see you. FX Rich in the heezy for sheezy. What's going on, Yvonne? Stein, what's up? How are you, love? You good? There you go. Danny. Herb Grant, Mr. Everywhere. Yvette Turner, what's going on? How you doing? Excellent. Mr. Riddick, thanks for the close-up. Ron Petty in the heezy. What's going on, Ron? Donald Nutt, what's going on, sir? How you doing today? All right. Linda Strozier. Michelle Jacobs, how you doing? You good? Good to see all my friends. All right. All right, the rest of you, turn on those cameras. Let's go, man. Let's go. Hey, look, I can tell you right now, if you come to social media training, but you can't get social, dun, dun, dun. Edson, what's happening? My girl Topsy. How you doing? Look at that smile. Love it. Love it. Mr. Barnes, how are you today? Peggy Peg. How you doing, love? You good? Excellente. Excellente. All right, cool. Well, you know what? I'm just going to encourage the rest of you.
Getting the coffee.
Congratulate you guys for being here. And then I want to encourage you, turn on your camera so you can be here, be here. All right, cool. Excellent. Marky Mark, you ready?
Yes.
Let's do what we do.
Yes. All right. What the fuck?
Swear jar.
Oh, I didn't do
Oh
the right
God.
slides. All right. Stop share.
What happened?
Didn't do the right slides.
You didn't do the right slides.
Yes, I didn't do the right slides.
All right.
Here we go. They're the right slides.
Okay, okay. We don't see them.
Yep, it's coming.
All right. Well, no worries. So let's just dive in. If you don't have them ready, we'll just keep it going. Disclaimer alert. We've got opportunity to make money here, but we can't tell you how much money a particular individual is going to make because can't tell you what a particular individual is going to do. Only you know how much work you're going to do, how consistent you're going to be, how much energy, you're going to put into it, how much you're going to invest in yourself, how much you're going to grow. All those things are necessary in order to be successful in business. And we can't do them for you, but we can give you an environment where you can create success. And that's what we do. And that's what Flight School is about. And so do you got your slides now? You got Trade Buddy or what you got?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. The announcements.
You have them. Okay, cool. While
Yeah.
the announcers are playing, let's make our Diamonds co-host.
Okay.
All righty.
All right, Ibüümerang family, MK coming to you from the flight deck. Let's pull up the slides. All right, here we go. Social media success, how to attract, engage, and convert. TJ is going to bring the heat. Stay connected with the WhatsApp community, iboomnation.com. Go there, fill out the information. Search at Ibüümerang and click join on Telegram. Chargebacks, if you charge back, you will be terminated. However, you can go to iboomhub.com/downloads and download the multiple use credit card form. Do not give your funds to anyone for trading. Ibüümerang will not be held responsible for your loss of funds. Don't do it, folks. Cross-recruiting and switching teams, it's grounds for termination for both the switcher and the sponsor, and it's not allowed. This is your brick. You are a personal star achiever, 300 QV. Dual team qualified, one left, one right, 10 Elevate customers, 1,500 QV, and that all adds up to a grand total of 1,800 in personal qualifying volume. You want every person on your team to accomplish and maintain this. CEO Circle, 10 Elevate customers. You can go to all events for free, but you've got to be qualified for 3 months in advance. CEO Corner, 25 Elevate customers. All of virtual and live events, including Elevate boot camps, for free, but you've got to be qualified for 3 months in advance. Rank Up. Everybody should be using Rank Up. Training call and recordings are now on iboomhub.com. And the YouTube playlist is live. It's right at the top, folks. youtube.com/iboomerang. Profit Snatcher testimonials now in Rank Up. Log into Rank Up. Click prospecting videos. Click Profit Snatcher testimonials. Grab the link and send it. And you've got to match up the prospect with the presenter. Trade Buddy Lounge, live trading with the best profit coaches, and a Trade Buddy subscription is required. Send us your Profit Snatcher wins and Trade Buddy video testimonials. Send your Elevate and Trade Buddy testimonials to written profitsnatchers@elevate.com, tradebuddytestimonials.com for Elevate and Trade Buddy videos. Bitcoin and Beyond with Diana Hardy. Every Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Central. Profit Snatcher schedule. Profit Snatchers Americas every first and third Wednesday of the month, and that's 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is the only call today, folks. MK coming to you from the flight deck.
All right, all right. Thank you for the announcements. We appreciate you for that, Mr. Mark. And let's keep it rolling. What's Trade Buddy doing this week?
Week of 6-2 through 6-6. Gold, 12 trades, 9 wins, 3 losses. Max pips, 2,030. 75% win rate. Profit per one lot traded, $20,634. GJ, 9 trades, 6 wins, 3 losses. Max pips, 498. 67% win rate. Profit per one lot traded, $2,268. UCAD, 7 trades, 6 wins, 1 loss. Max pips, 246. Win rate, 86%. Profit per one lot traded, $1,652. 21 wins, 7 losses, 76% win rate, 2,774 pips.
All right, you could have made some money playing with Trade Buddy last week. You last like a what, 22, 23, 24, roughly about $24,000. That's not too shabby with one lot trades. There you go, Diamond Tier. You're supposed to save me sooner, bro. You had me over here counting fingers and toes.
I
All
was
right.
about to unmute myself, but I was already typing.
There you go, brother. There you go. All right, excellent. Well, if that's it, is that it for our slides?
Yes. Yeah.
Do we have a slide for Mr. Bugs for today? Because I know he's
No.
doing a webinar today. How many
Yeah.
of you were on last week and caught the unveiling of HBAI?
Yes.
Oh
That was
my God.
sick.
Let me tell you, the world of network marketing is going cray cray right now because everybody wants to ask HB. You can take the slide down, Mark. Everybody
Okay.
wants to ask HB. It's insane. How many of you got a subscription to that? Got HB in your pocket, you can role play. So, and here's the crazy thing. You know what the crazy thing is? People already used up their time.
What?
They've already used up their time.
Bro.
My background was all over the place. Let's see. Hold on. Let's fix the screen. There we go. All right. Yeah, I mean, the people are already out of time. Anybody run out of time yet?
What?
So
What?
we're gonna make a way for people to get more time.
Okay.
But it's absolutely wild. If you thought being able to talk to Chat GPT was something, being able to role play and improve your game, like it's like working with HB one-on-one. That's absolutely insane. Everybody here should have that subscription. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you're like, what is T Gray talking about? Then you need to clear your calendar for 12 noon today, 1 p.m. Eastern time, 12 p.m. Central time. You have another opportunity to learn from Mr. Bugs today. He's going to do another webinar for the MLM community, and you guys really should be on that today. So I want to encourage you to do that. The other thing is we got Bitcoin and Beyond with rock star Diana Hardy. I can't even talk today. Diana Hardy is doing Bitcoin and Beyond today.
Yeah.
And that's going to be absolutely phenomenal. The Bitcoin Mistress is going to show you what Bitcoin is doing. All right. Can't tell you what it's going to do, but she can tell you what it's likely to do. And she's been studying it, intimately familiar with it. And so that's a blessing that she's been giving our community. All right. You guys asked for social media training. Did anybody here ask for social media training? PDDG, did they ask for social media training a few weeks ago? I think they did.
I believe so.
I believe they did. I believe they did. And so, guess what? Today we are going to deliver the social media training today. All right. So, get your screenshotters ready, your note takers, and all that kind of stuff. We're going to talk about how to succeed in social media intentionally. Let me ask you guys, let's start with a question. How many of you have a social media account? How many of you have social media accounts? Whether you have, and what do you have? If you put what you have in the chat. You have Instagram, put it in the chat. You have Facebook, put it in the chat. TikTok, put it in the chat. LinkedIn, what do you have? Twitter, anybody have Twitter? Put it in the chat. What do you have? Let's see. What are people saying? Everybody's got Facebook. Some's got Facebook only, Instagram and Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, Blue Sky. Okay, Jackie Phillips on the bleeding edge. Blue Sky. I mean, you heard of Blue Sky. YouTube.
Yeah, it's a Twitter alternative.
Has an OnlyFans. I'm gonna stop there. Yeah, I think that's a good place to stop. Edson Richards has an OnlyFans. This is a dramatic pause to let it sink.
Oh my God.
I love you, Edson. Thank you for bringing the humor this morning. All right. Now let's keep it popping. So let's talk about social media. Let's talk about, thank you, Tierra. I'm not the only one over here cracking up. Um, how many of you guys, am I going to see any of you in Houston on June 20? By the way, am I going to see any of you guys in Houston on June 20? VIP live at the next Holton Bugs Rank Up Community boot camp event.
I'm gonna be there.
Who's going to be here?
I'm gonna
Edson.
be there, TK.
Who's that?
Edson.
Edson. All right, my man, you coming back. Edson, why are you coming back, man? Why do you keep
man. Live and in person. Can't beat it.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, obviously the value is incredible. There's just incredible time that we get to spend with Mr. Bugs, one-on-one group setting. I want to encourage you guys. That is a huge opportunity. So I hope you guys will do that. Definitely at a minimum, make sure you're on virtually. That's June 20 to 22. That's coming up. All right, let's dive into our social media training. You guys have your social media. Let's talk about how to use our social media to create success, attracting, engaging, and ultimately converting people. And social media tends to be a place where just so many people struggle. Let me ask you guys a question. On a scale of 1 to I'll make the scale smaller. On a scale of 1 to 5 meaning you're a pro, you got it down, you understand it. Social, you got your social media like a trained animal. 1 is you're just totally lost. You're like, what do I do with this thing? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself in terms of your social media? Let's see that in the chat. So did I say 1 to 10? I meant 1 to 5. Sorry, 1 to 5. 1 to 5. Do that again. 5 being the ultimate. Your social media, your influencer level, pretty much. 1 meaning I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just pushing buttons. My posts are always crooked. What is a caption? Okay.
Oh my God.
All right, I'm looking at it. First of all, I applaud you all for your honesty. This is going to be good stuff for you today. This is going to be real good for you. Ron, how did you make that 2 so small? Like, do you see? Like Ron Petty's 2 is like so small. Like, it's like a test. I'm like,
How did you do
someone
that?
with my contact lenses? He said he has an Android. All right.
Oh my
Well, this is
God.
going to be good for you guys. You guys are going to really enjoy this. So let's go ahead and dive in and get started. He said he held the button too long. Yvonne, you maybe need to give yourself a couple more points then if you know how to do that. That's
I
pretty
did
good.
need to use this to see it.
Exactly. Exactly, man. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make sure I can see the people. Okay, cool. All right. So I can see you guys over here. Yeah, that's wild. Michelle Jacobs has got the laughter emojis just bubbling up. All right. Why is social media important? How about because everybody's there, right? So when it comes to marketing, what companies do, what businesses do is they identify their audience, they find out where they're at, and they market to them there, right? Which is kind of why you've never seen Rolex ads on The Price is Right. Because the Rolex consumer is not there. Where do you see the Rolex commercial advertisements? Tennis matches, golf tournaments, F1, right? Any place where people who have a little more money are hanging out, right? So same thing what social media allows you to do is allows you, you're a business, right? To find people and talk to people where they are. And that's really your opportunity for social media. However, social media presents a unique opportunity because until social media, people were pretty much buying from companies, right? And it's why companies tried hard to marry their products to personalities because they know that at the core, at the end of the day, people buy from people, not companies. Well, social media really allows you to personalize this and connect with people and create an environment where people can buy from a person, namely, voi, or you. Did I say it right, Danny? Voi? Danny? Did I say it right? Voi.
Quoi?
Right?
Yes. Quoi?
That's
Yes,
the
you're right.
collective you. Voi? Okay. All right. And so what you want to start thinking about is now this is the first big point of the day. You ready for the first big point of the day, Brenda? Okay. If you have only one social media account, and like, so for example, you only have one Instagram page, then that Instagram page is not your personal page if you want to do business, if you want to leverage it to do business. That page is your storefront. Now, if you don't want it to be your storefront, you're going to need to have another page. But if it's your one and only page, that's your storefront. And so you want to be present. And what's that second word?
Intentional.
Intentional. And this is where most people fail with social media. They are not intentional. They don't have a plan. They don't have a plan for what they will do, won't do, should do, and shouldn't do on their page. I remember, and now I have one Instagram page. I remember my son took a picture of me doing something silly or eating or whatever is a funny picture, you know how kids do. And he was going to put it on. I'm like, you can't put that on social media. I said, my social media presence is curated and intentional. Nothing goes on social media that I don't want to go on social media, which, by the way, is why you shouldn't believe people's social media, because they are showing you what they want to see. And they should. They shouldn't show you what they don't want you to see. Right? And since we kind of traverse to that place, if you are the kind of person that likes to air your life and your dirty laundry and your negative messaging on social media, stop. Stop. It doesn't serve you. Right? I see people also, trying to send all sorts of subliminal messages or whatever, or outright messages, or just being messy, and it doesn't serve you. I love what Mr. Diamond Tierra Edwards was put in the chat. In the name of Jesus, please stop. Like, just quit it. Like, stop it. Damn it. Right? Like, nobody wants to see that. Oh, and I'll put it this way. It's not that nobody wants to see that. The wrong people want to see that. People who are living in, mess world, they'll be drawn to that. But that's not what you want to do. Okay. So don't be that person. Be very, very intentional. It's an advertisement. Jackie Phillips, you go into the store to buy some clothes. You walk up to a boutique store in the mall. And before you walk into the store, you're looking at the storefront. And in their window is just a mess. As a matter of fact, something on the window, on the clothes, on the mannequin has like a smudge on it. And then just in front of their store, there's trash, whatever, the door's kind of half open. You going in that store? You don't even want to go in the store. You're not even going to give the store a chance, right? Because the store, it looks janky. And that's why your social media is your storefront. That's kind of one of the things we do right away when we meet people. We go to their social media to see what they're about. And so you should do a social media check periodically and say, okay, what is my page saying about me? Okay, so you want to do that. The other thing is that social media is intensely algorithmic. It is intensely algorithmic. It's not arbitrary. They're not people anymore looking at these things. It's all automated, and the algorithm is determining what it's going to boost, what it's going to push forward, what people are going to see more, and it's always changing, but the core things never change. It rewards consistency, it rewards authenticity, and it rewards engagement. Consistency, authenticity, and engagement. Lewis Barnes is making a good point. Even now, today, employers are going to try to find your Instagram or your Facebook or your TikTok to see who they're about to hire and quietly make a decision to go or no go. So I would encourage you guys. This is probably one of the most important slides in the presentation. Okay, so let's keep it moving. And we've got a few sections to go through. The first section is a 4-part social media strategy. And by the way, we have a bonus for you at the end of this training. We have a bonus for you at the end of this training that you are going to enjoy. The first part of the 4-part strategy is positioning. Positioning. And this is where you identify 2 or 3 personal brand pillars. This is where you decide what you are about. You can't be about everything. So you identify what are those 2 or 3 things that you're about. For example, you could be about travel. How many of you, as you scroll your Instagram or your Facebook, you follow certain people that all they do is travel? Right? Peg, you're smiling, yes? So that's someone who has established one of their brand pillars as travel. Okay? How many of you follow somebody that what they do is restaurants? Right? So that's what I'm talking about. How many of you follow somebody all they're talking about is how you can do good things with your money? How many of you follow people that all they do is they spew positivity and mindset? Okay, so you want to identify what it is that you are about. Okay, and what happens is people who have that level of interest, you're going to capture their attention. The algorithm is going to start to associate you with that. And social media has a great way of getting all the right people with similar interests together. So, for example, Stein put in the chat right now that she follows people who love sailing and yachts, right? Now, here's what happened. In the beginning, you searched for something like that and it came up and it grabbed your interest and you said, okay, follow. And you saw more stuff that came up and got your attention and you liked it. And then the algorithm said, oh, Stein, you like this. And it started showing you more and more and more and more. And as you continue to like and as you continue to follow, even as you stop and spend time, because the algorithm knows how long you look at each item, it starts to connect. and feed you that. So social media, you might just think it's an accident. It's not. It's very scientific. And because it learns what you like, that's how they keep you scrolling. And by the way, you'll never reach the bottom. Okay? Now, here's a really good question. What if I don't want to use my real name on social media? If you don't want to use your real name on social media, and then I want to hear from our diamonds on this one too, then I would say you need to be very, very, very extra intentional about the persona you create, what you name your page, and how you manage that. And you, by the way, you just understand you have made it a little bit harder for people to find you. But if you are very intentional and you have a solid plan, you do not necessarily have to use your real name. You just have to work a little harder. What do you say to that, Tierra? What do you say to that, Darren? And any other diamonds that are on with us today?
Yeah, I would say that that's important. I mean, for me personally, I have two of them, well, three. One is like a team brand. Another one is mainly me, and then another one is like my other persona with fitness and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, I keep it focused on that one main thing. So like my main page, that's mainly business, personal development, mindset, just keeping people drawn to me when it comes to positive messages. Why? Because people are aware that we live in a negative world, but the more positivity that you see, the more positivity you want to continue to look at. So again, making sure that you have that 2 to 3 pillars that you focus on, people know you for that, and you just continue to pour that into people. And the more that people see you, the more that they'll understand and they'll know, okay, this is what this person stands for.
Mhm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Good. That's good stuff. PDDG, you have anything you want to say on that?
No, I think it's good. I mean, and you're giving me some ideas as well, having multiple different social medias, because one can be for family, friends, the other one can be just for business. And if you don't want to use your name, just make sure that you title it something like you just said, T Gray, that you're going to try to attract through social media. So this is all good stuff for sure.
I mean, so let's just take somebody like PDDG for example, just had a baby, right? And recognizing that the internet is permanent, he might make decisions about what kind of exposure, she's going to have on social media. So that's one reason people do create a second page. They'll create a family page, well, where they can do stuff like that. But I've always personally only had one page. But I'm very, very, very judicious about what goes on there. I like what Alex said here. Alex said in the chat, he used to have all his socials with a company or business name. He switched them all, and he's had way better success because he said he thinks using your name works much better because people want to connect with people. And it's true. And Alex, that's exactly what I was saying. It's going to be easier if you are just putting your own identity out there. You can succeed without using your name. You're just going to have to work a little bit harder. Now, the key thing is that you want to show the lifestyle, not just the business. Antoinette, you know who gets ignored on social media? The people who are like, buy my thing, buy my thing, buy my thing. I'm the Mary Kay lady. I got makeup. I got lotion. I got nail polish remover. And they like the person on the corner with the opening the jacket and they got all the stuff. And you know what you do? Scroll, right? But you want to show the lifestyle, not just the business. What would I do if I were in Mary Kay, right? I would show myself having a great time outdoors, on the beach, on the yacht, playing with the kids. And I do a little thing that says, well, sunscreen SPF 50 by Mary Kay, right? Because now you can actually put a thing on there. Right. So I'm showing the lifestyle, but I'm also showing how it applies. You see what I'm saying? I wouldn't be like, hey, buy this. because that doesn't work. People tune that out. Okay. You want to be consistent with your look, with your tone, and your message. And I want to stop here for a second. I want to say, learn to use your toys. Learn to use your toys. There's not a slide for this one. I'm just going to say, learn to use your toys. I was in Cabo last week, and one of the things I did, thank you, Driss. One of the things I did is I played with my camera. And my God, it's amazing what you can do with the camera on your phone. You don't need such fancy equipment. I mean, I took some pictures. I'm just literally just playing selfies in the different portrait modes, et cetera, and stuff was absolutely amazing. You know, a couple of weeks ago was Houston Cigar Week, and one of my buddies is like kind of the commentator of it, and so I was his cameraman, and it's amazing just the cinematic mode on an iPhone video, the quality that you can get in both the front camera and the back camera. But you know how I find these things? Cynthia, you know how I learn these things? I didn't go to iPhone school. Topsy, I didn't go to iPhone school. You know what I did, Donald? I played with my camera. So, oh, what does this do? Oh, what does this do? Oh, what does that do? Oh, what is the result? I know what I can do with an Android. I can keep this stack of papers in order. Just put Android on top of that. Right, that's what I could do with Android. And then if a fly comes in my office, I can kill the fly with an Android phone. FX, you're just saying, imagine what you can do with an Android camera. And the Androids actually do have a pretty incredible camera. But you just want to, whatever you do, be consistent about it with the look. Let's talk about the content that you create. Here's the formula. Here's the formula. If you don't know what to post, follow this formula. You want to think about what you post in a week. Okay? Think about what you post in a week in a 7-day period of time. And Dorcas, 60% of what you post should be giving value. We're going to give. Okay? 60% should be giving value, education, tips, and inspiration. Okay? Show me in the chat real quick, what could you give in value that's related to IGO? We're not selling. Just real quick, let's go fast on the trigger. Or even actually not in the chat. Open your mic. Just say it.
Travel tips.
Antioxidant. Travel tips. Not selling.
Photos from
Tip.
Dubai.
Right? So you could be travel tip of the week. How to choose a hotel. What are the best seats on a plane? How to keep yourself safe. How to plan a travel itinerary. How to find the sights to see. How to find the best restaurants in a place. You're not selling anything. You're just giving value. I'm gonna show you guys something. Hold on.
I like that.
How many of you have heard of a gentleman by the name of Gary Vaynerchuk? Gary V.
Yep.
Become a social media guru, created millions of dollars of business for himself, his family, their wine business. He wrote a book years ago, and this is the book. It's called Jab, 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 Right Hook. You know what that means? It's a social media strategy. Jab, 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 right hook. It's a metaphor for give, ask. You think about boxers in a ring, they're not every punch trying to knock the person out. Most of those punches are setups. Jab, 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 hook. Jab, 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 hook. Right? But it's give, ask. So 60% value, just giving. 30% storytelling. Let them see you as a person. So you've been giving these travel tips, and now you let them see you travel. You're on your, hey guys, here I am. I'm at X, Y, and Z. I'm in Cabo, and man, it's so beautiful here. You show your hotel room. I got a great deal on this hotel room. Look at this place. It's absolutely amazing. Here's the pool. Here's the beach. Oh my God, I'm having such a great time. Okay? Behind the scenes. Pack with me for the trip. How many of you know how to do a time-lapse video? Anybody know how to do a time-lapse? I guarantee you 100% of you, your phone does a time-lapse video. It's a setting on your phone. You've ignored it. But what you're going to do is you're going to put your phone on a tripod in the corner of the room. You're going to go to video. You're going to hit time-lapse. And you're going to leave the phone there while you pack. And it's probably going to take you an hour to pack your bags, and that's okay. You're going to end up with a 30-second video. Because it's going to show you moving around the room real fast and packing a suitcase. You ever see those videos? It's a time-lapse video. Every one of you can do that. Great storytelling. Get ready with me. Pack with me. Some of you, anybody here a good packer, a good suitcase packer? You are, Michelle? Well, that's a tip. That's an inspiration. That's a behind the scenes. Hey guys, let me show you how I pack for the trip. Let me show you how I roll things and how I can fit everything in a little suitcase like this for 20 days. Right? Not Tigray. I'm taking 12 suitcases for 3 days. All right. So 30% storytelling, 10% CT, 10% call to action, 10% join now, 10% buy this, 10% DM me, 10% click this link to get your free account. But only how much?
10%.
10%. The smallest. The smallest. You're not. So some people, they have it flipped. They're 90% asking. Right, Rich?
Yep, absolutely.
You know what happens if you're 90% asking? You're 100% ignored.
And ignored.
Okay? So all those other things are the things that put people in. Now, how many of you know what a reel is on Instagram? Good. How many of you know how to do stories on Instagram? All right, so you need to create an action list. I'm not going to teach you how to do that today. But you need to create an action list. And you want to learn how to create a reel and how to create a story.
Still learning. Still learning.
And how to create a carousel. What is a carousel? You ever see somebody where they put 5 pictures up, you got to swipe them? That's called a carousel. It's basically 5 or 10 or more pictures in one post. And now you can put music across your carousel. Okay? But you need to learn how to use these things and when to use them. Not just a static post. If you just put a picture, that's a post. All right? If you make a little mini movie, that's a reel. What's the difference between a reel post and a story post? Anybody know?
The story, it doesn't change. It's usually a quick little image that is there. And
Nope.
only stay there for 24 and only
Videos.
Goes away.
stay there for 24 hours.
Right. Stories can be videos, they can be pictures, they can be text, but they go away in 24 hours.
Correct.
So you need to strategically think about how do you want to use. No, reels are not deleted after 24 hours. Stories are released or come down after 24 hours. Okay. Reels stay on your page. So you need to think about how will you use stories, right? You can use stories for things that are kind of time sensitive or can go away that don't need to be permanently on your page. Something you want to post, but you don't want it to be permanently on your page. Or you post something new on your page that you want people to see. You can, after you post it, you can click it to make it a story as well. And some people even put over that story, new post, designed to get people to click and go to the page and interact with it. Okay. So you want to start thinking about your story, your strategy. Okay. Engagement, right? So far, the first two parts of our strategy was number one, positioning. We identified our brand pillars, what we're about, what we're going to show, what our consistent look is. And by the way, in terms of your look, if you use filters, then be consistent with it. Like I use filters on mine. I use an app called Snapseed to filter my photos, and it gives my photos a certain look. If you go to my page, you'll kind of see that you'll see a lot of those that kind of have a stylized look. I use an app called Snapfeed to do that. Okay. But I'm consistent about it. You see something like that, you think of me, right? Then we had content creation, 60-30-10, value, storytelling, call to action. Now we're on engagement and the 5-3-1 rule. The 5-3-1 rule is we're going to be a member of the community. We're not going to be just takers. We're going to be givers. And that's how we're going to get. We're going to give to get. So the 5 in 5-3-1 is comment on 5 posts. Every day, comment on 5 posts. Now, your comment could simply be emojis.
Tigre, is this a minimum or?
Oh, yeah, it's a minimum. I mean, but it all depends on how much time you spend on social media.
Right. Okay.
All right. Remember, you could get lost there and grow facial hair and everything.
Yeah.
Have a couple of birthdays in the same spot.
The rabbit hole.
Right. So, but you want to have a plan for, a daily plan, comment on 5 posts. Right. Now, by the way, this is going to make you really good because we hate just the looky loos. Right. We hate the looky loos where people just kind of look at your page. Oh, that's nice. And no interaction. You want interaction. Right. So give to get, comment, reply to 3 stories, and DM 1 new person. Now you don't need to write essays. Again, your comment or your reply could simply be emojis. Make sure they're right and appropriate emojis. Ladies, they have different color hearts now. Save the red hearts for the right circumstance, right? You got pink hearts, you got blue hearts, brown hearts, whatever. Okay. Respond to the people who engage on your post. And that response could be simply liking their response, or it could be actually writing something. And then create engagement by learning to use some of the engagement tools in your story. You can use polls. Here's an idea for a poll, Becky. If you want to get IGO customers, maybe your poll is, if you had a $5,000 budget, where would you go? Jamaica, Bahamas, Curacao, or Aruba? And put that on there. Let people vote. Right? You could say, I travel a lot. Ask me a question. And then people will ask you questions. They'll show up in your DM, and then you answer the questions on your story. Right? Quizzes. You could, for Elevate, you could do some big, simple financial questions. Do a quiz or a poll, right? But do things like that. Why would you do that? Because you want people to engage. Okay? You want people to engage. All right. Number 4 is conversion.
Hey, Kia has a question.
What's that? When you comment on someone's story, it automatically goes to their DM. Is that the same as commenting in their DM? Yeah, that's a new thing. That is a new thing. So you could kill 2 birds with 1 stone that way if you wanted to. Conversion. Okay, so we're doing all this. It's not just for the fun of it. At the end of the day, we're doing it because we want people to convert. We want them to become customers. We want them to become business partners. We want them to become subscribers, right? So, by the way, what I encourage you to do with your social media is begin with the end in mind, guy. All right, work backwards. How do I get, what would I do in order to get to this endpoint? A new elevate subscriber. Okay. So guy, you say, okay, well, if I do that, if I want this person to subscribe, who is that person? What does that conversation look like? What does the post look like that starts the conversation? What does the DM look like that starts the conversation? What does the story look like that starts the conversation? Curiosity marketing.
Can I add something, Tigre, to the previous questions you have? I prefer personally use DM message than message directly if it is on the reel, because if the person doesn't look at it right away, 24 hours, they don't even know on what your message was sent.
Yep. But now I will tell you this, if you can do both, right? But if you comment, like, so for example, I'm a very selfish social media person. I really only care about what I post. Right. And so if I'm posting things, I'm also looking to see who commented on it. Right. I'm going to get on the upper right hand corner of my Instagram. I got a number for how many people have DM'd me, and I got a little notification icon, and I click on that. It's going to show all the people that have interacted with something that I posted. And I'll see that in line as well. So you can certainly do both, Danny. I'm not going to tell you exactly how to do it, whichever you find is most effective. Do that. But here's one thing that you do want to do in a DM. You want to ask your curiosity questions. So for example, want to know how I'm earning from my phone? You wouldn't put that in a comment, or you wouldn't put that in a comment reply. You would DM the person with that. Okay. So let's suppose that you have been posting, finance and investing tips. So your 60% of content is education and tips and insights around finance and investing, right? And your 30% storytelling includes you trading, or includes you going to dinner at a restaurant and having a $250 dinner that you paid for with your trading profits that day, right? Et cetera, et cetera. And you have people that are liking and commenting on your post, right? And now you want to engage them in curiosity. You would not reply to their comment on on your post and say, "You want to know how I'm earning from my phone?" You send that in their DM. Does that make sense?
Yeah, those are great advice. But what I meant is that was for the reply on someone else's story. That's what I meant.
You're going
Because
back a few slides. I was no longer replying to you, but with regard to those 5, comment on their post. Specifically comment on their post, comment on their reel.
Thank you.
Yep, I would encourage you to do that. And then, of course, you know when to DM, but I would encourage you to also to just and remember, Danny, that commenting on the post doesn't have to be a big deal. It could just be an emoji. If I see one of my friends working out, if I see Thierry working out, my comment on his post might be 3 muscle emojis.
Wonderful.
Right? I mean, Thierry and I have done that, or Thierry may comment on if like something. I don't post the walking videos every day. I'm still walking, but he'll comment on my walking one. He'll give the muscle emoji, on my story. So that you can do that. But I'm off of that. I'm on to conversion, and the conversion path is DMs. Right? You start the conversation in DM. Your goal is to get out of the DM and onto Zoom. You don't even have to ask the person for their phone number anymore. You don't have to ask them for any personal information. You don't have to weird them out. And they say, "Yeah, I want to talk more about." Say, "Great, let's jump on a Zoom." How many of you have a Zoom account? Mark, do we still have our link to the Zoom thing. We got to next week. I think we're going to give you guys access to fun tool in the marketplace there that you guys can use. But it'll give you a discounted Zoom account associated with it. But you use your Zoom account to now have the conversation, and then now to do presentation, whatever, et cetera, and then to ultimately close. All right. BAM Fam applies to social media. BAM Fam applies to social media, right? So you want to always have the next step ready. What is the link that you want them to watch? What is the call time? What is the info? You always schedule the next step while you are still in the current one. Okay. Don't leave it out there. Otherwise, you will end up chasing. Okay. Rich, I think that's a great idea. Trading paid for this. Right. But I wouldn't, it's going to be hard for you to do it as a page because remember, you got to keep it up. Right.
Yeah.
But you can use that as a theme.
What about a hashtag?
Yeah. It could be a hashtag. Right. Or it could be a theme.
Yes.
Right. So, every so often on your page, you could post something that trading paid for.
Yep.
Right. You could come out of a store holding a bag, a t-shirt. You just got a brand new blinged out t-shirt. Say, hey, trading paid for this. $50 t-shirt, trading paid for it.
Nice.
Right. You're out to dinner with your family and say, oh man, me and my family, we're over here enjoying a great meal at Mastro's Steakhouse, owned by Tillman Fertitta in Houston, Texas. And guess what?
Trading paid for this.
Or, so you could have some fun with it. That could be your thing.
You want people to finish your sentence, right?
But in order for that to happen, you've got to be consistent.
Yeah, and that's the problem with me on social media, being consistent.
You got to be consistent. You got to be as consistent on social media as you are trading. Now, how do you create that consistency, folks? You're going to have to determine how much of that you want to be, right? Like I've dialed mine way back because it's a job, right? It's a job. But if I can tell you right now, if I were out in the field building, I would dial it way up, right? So you just got to figure out where it fits in your scheme of life and your rhythm. I've now gotten to a point where I pretty much don't even check my social media during the daytime. If I'm gonna check it and post, I do it in the morning or in the evening. But during my productive time, I don't touch that thing because time disappears. Right? Time disappears. You may think that you've only done this 5 times, but then it turns out to be 5 hours. All right. So let's do our first breakout. You guys learned a lot in this first session so far? Okay. Here's what we're going to do. Yes, you can 100% plan all your posts ahead of time. In this training, we have some tools and we'll see if we get to it. We'll see how much time we're going to take here. We may have to do this as part 1 and part 2. But I want you guys to get together. How many people do we have today? We have like 55. And if we want to do, let's see, how many breakout rooms are we going to do here today, Mark? All right, we're going to do 12 breakout rooms. Now listen, here are the instructions. Pay close attention. All right. When we hit the breakout room button, you will have to accept your breakout room. So pay attention to your screen and accept the breakout room. If you decline the breakout room, then you'll just be in limbo. And we'll know you're in limbo because Mark and I will be sitting here saying, what are you doing here? All right. Rule number 2. The purpose of the breakout room is for it to be interactive and everybody in the breakout room needs to participate. Okay? Don't come to flight school with your BS. We came to work together, right? We're going to do this together. So when you're in there, right? And nobody hog up the time. Now, here's what we're going to do in this breakout room. Let's take a look at your last 6 posts, right? On Instagram, it's real easy because they do it in blocks. Right. So here's my Instagram and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take a look at your last 6 posts. And the question is, are you showing value? Are you being authentic? Are you creating any curiosity? And we want to identify one improvement in the group. Okay, for each person. All right, you guys ready? 2, 3, and we're going. All right, I think we did pretty good here. I think we did pretty good.
Yes, sir.
All right, I think this is I think this is our group here. Maybe this is our group. Is this a group? I think let's see. Who's in here with us? We got James Riddick. Let me just try to find him. James, nope, James did not go where he was supposed to go. James, we'll put you in your room again. All right. And then let's see. Lori, how you doing, Lori? You still here with us? You were supposed to be in room 4. Let's just try this again. Make sure you accept this time. All right. And then James. Okay. And then Lori. And then Mark, we can jump around and just go and visit some people's different rooms.
Okay.
I'm gonna go and visit this room over here with Alex and Nika. See you later. I'll be back.
What's up, team?
That went by way too quick.
I know.
uh,
I am okay. We had a really good time.
Yeah, in a little while.
You're muted, T. Gray.
All right, there we go. Is everybody back now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
And
sir.
loving it.
Absolutely fantastic. I was in breakout rooms, and I want to congratulate you guys. How many of you had a good breakout room
Yes, sir.
experience?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Absolutely.
A lot of resources.
It was
A lot of
awesome.
ideas.
There you go.
Yes.
Hey, you guys had some good conversations, and you guys were really helping each other, which was really, really good. I love this. I love it. I love it. All right, well, let's try to dive back in. I don't know how much of this we're going to be able to finish today, because this is getting deep on us, right? It's getting deep on us. So now let's go into platform strategies. One of the questions that I was asked was, I hate to ask this question, but what's the difference between Instagram and Facebook? No problem. We're going to talk about it. Instagram. Instagram is a platform where it caters to shorter delivery of information. Okay. So I probably should have put Facebook first, but we'll start with Instagram. Shorter information, right? And visual delivery of that information, meaning pictures, video, right? And actually now video is so important. Instagram started out being about pictures, and now it's more about video. The emphasis is more on video, so do more reels and more stories, okay? Now, by the way, does anybody here know the trick on how to turn a picture into a reel?
No.
Anybody want to know? You want to know how to turn a picture into a reel?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so you choose to do a reel.
Yep. Oh.
And then you've got to put something on the timeline. Okay, because you're basically building a movie. And so if you have one picture and you want that one picture to be a movie, just put that picture on the timeline over and over again. Put that same picture on the timeline 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, right? And if let's suppose that each time it's going to be there for 3 seconds. If you put it on there for 5 times, now you got a 15-second video that's really just that one picture, and it's not going to move. And then, like he had just said in the chat, you put music on top of it, and now you get yourself a reel, a picture that is a reel. For all intents and purposes, the algorithm is going to read it as a video. Okay. On Instagram, you want to use hashtags. You want to use targeted hashtags. Okay. And you want to do story highlights to showcase your products and your lifestyle and whatever. Now, how many of you know that you can, what a story highlight is, by the way? If you follow somebody on Instagram, anybody here follow me on Instagram?
Yes.
Follow me on Instagram?
Yes.
Okay. Follow me on Instagram. Go to my at T Gray Wins.
Yes, sir.
And kind of in the middle, you see these little circles above the pictures, right? Above my feet, the little circles. Let me see how I can do this real quick. Hold on. Let's see if I know my technology. Hold on. Let's see. What I think I can do this. I think I can. I think I can. Hold on. There we go. Boom. iPhone technology. Screenshot. AirDrop. Share. Boom.
Your last one was with the cigar guy, right?
Yep.
Oh,
All right.
there you go.
This is my page. Okay. These circles here, you see one that says Cigar Life, one says Tea Grade 2, one says Fam Fun. Those are story highlights. This is where stories can go to live forever. When you make a story, you click on, I think, the three dots, and you can say create a highlight or add to a particular highlight. Okay. And so I group my story post into these different highlights. So I have, if I'm smoking cigars or whatever, anything is about cigars, you're gonna find it in that cigar life. So if you click that, you can actually see all the stories I posted in the past that have something to do with that, right? Tea Grade 2 is kind of my vanity one. There's a Tea Grade 1 there somewhere, right? Fam Fun is gonna be family stuff. So one of these could be, and one of these is Elevate. There's an Elevate one around here somewhere. There's an Ibüümerang one around here somewhere, right? I just tend to group them, and I kind of got a little bit overboard. But some people have just a few of them. I've got a billion of them, okay? But so you want to use those strategically. Now you're looking at that, and here's what I want you to ask yourself. How can I use this strategically? Does that make sense? How can I use this strategically for my business? And then you have a strategy for that. Okay. All right. So that's Instagram. And Instagram, the audience is slightly younger. It's not young. It's not the youngest group, but it's slightly younger. Okay. Now, for us old heads who've been around since the beginning of social media, this is where you can find most of your friends, right? On Facebook. All right. Because Facebook is what started it. Well, Facebook didn't really start it, but Facebook is the one that really got some traction, right? Who used to have a MySpace? Anybody used to have a MySpace?
Yeah.
She was like, MySpace, no, not MySpace, T-Grade. MySpace. Can you imagine that? Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. But Facebook is kind of the original, and Facebook is actually a place where you can do long form posts and people will actually read them. Not so much on Instagram. You can do it. Well, I don't know if we're going to really read it on Instagram. But on Facebook, the people who like Facebook will read your stuff. So you can leverage one to the other. Like me personally, I'm lazy. So what I do is when I post on Instagram, I make it automatically go to Facebook. Right. But if I were really needing to be more strategic, I would have a different strategy for Facebook. Yvonne, that's so cold. People on Instagram might not know how to read. That's funny, right? Facebook is also an easier place for you to build relationships. And Facebook has these groups, and the groups are like real. Like, anybody here belong to Facebook groups?
Yes.
People take those groups seriously. So you could be in different groups. You could be in travel groups. You could be in women's groups. You could be in men's groups. You can be in trading groups. You could be in investing groups. You can be in real estate groups. You can be in dog lover groups, cat lover groups, travel groups, groups. Okay. So that's Facebook for you. That's your strategy. Okay. Groups that people who like groups. All right. TikTok is where you're going to find that youngest group, but it's not just for kids. That's a mistake if that's what you're thinking. Okay? But TikTok, you got to just get down to it. Somebody said the attention span gets lower. TikTok attention span is the attention span of a fruit fly. Okay? So for TikTok, it has to be entertaining even if it's educational, it has to be entertaining. Like I even find the tone that people who are talking about more serious stuff, like maybe they're talking about trading on TikTok, even their whole tone is more entertaining and engaging and fun. Like, I know you think you want to make money trading, but they would do stuff like that on TikTok. Right? I mean, so TikTok is real, it's raw, and it's quick. Don't be on there dragging out. Don't be on there hemming and hawing like, you ain't, no, not TikTok, right? And you have to use trending sounds. You cannot be afraid of today's music, old people. Right? You got to use the trending sounds because that's what gets people's attention and makes them stop scrolling for a second to watch what you've got. All right? All righty. If you don't know the music, find a grandkid, a niece or nephew or something. All right? Go hang out in your kid's room as long as they're, 28 or younger. Listen to their music for a second. Try to die. And now that's what you're going to be able to use on TikTok. All right.
I hang out in my kid's room all the time.
Oh my God. Like I said, I thought about you. And that's why I said, try not to die. Right? Music, something else. All right. LinkedIn is for the ultimate grown-ups.
Yes.
All right. LinkedIn is professionals. So don't bring your goofy shit to LinkedIn. Now it's time to polish up, button up your shirt, tie a little bit. Still be fun, still be engaging. But remember, the audience here is very professional, right? This is a great place for Elevate, by the way, right? Highlight things like automation, creating additional income streams, creating personal security. This is where you want to tell stories, success stories, and provide tips and useful information in almost like article format. Okay, but don't get all long-winded because nobody's got time to read like 20 pages of stuff. All right. But this is the place where you want to position yourself as a professional and as an expert. Okay. Kia, how's your LinkedIn? Huh?
Just text a message, but to say that you about to get me active again on LinkedIn because I stopped using my LinkedIn since I wasn't really necessarily looking for a job.
Right. Yeah, but now LinkedIn is actually now the new frontier.
Oh man, you said elevate and they perked up.
Yeah, LinkedIn is actually the new frontier. Like I think you can do stories now, I think, on LinkedIn. I mean, LinkedIn is actually starting to embrace some of the other modes from the other social media, but still in that professional environment. It's a great place to establish yourself as an expert. It really is. So, but be very strategic about that. Okay. So we're going to do another breakout now. And in this breakout, we're going to be strategic. Okay. Here's what I want you to do, Topsy. I want you to have a weekly content plan. Because by the way, how do we succeed? How do we succeed?
By doing.
Okay, but by doing how? How do we succeed?
Intentionally.
One more time, Lewis.
Intentionally.
Intentionally, right? So I would describe most people's social media plan as hoping to succeed on accident. But now we're going to succeed intentionally. I really enjoyed my conversation with Nika. She was like, okay, because she's getting the engagement. But now with intention, she's going to get them over the finish line. Okay? So each week, this is a minimum schedule, a value post, a storytelling post, a call to action post, and a story every day. And what I want you to do is I want you to kind of think about what your content schedule is going to be and what are you going to post on Monday, as in this coming Monday, as in June 9. What are you going to post? Okay, you ready? We're going to go back into our breakout rooms. And remember, like before, what are we going to do? We have to accept the breakout and give everybody a chance to talk and go.
I'm actually available for a breakout.
Me too.
I just cannot unmute
You guys were
my,
supposed to, I think you guys probably got assigned to one and just didn't accept. Let's see.
no. I think
No?
because we
No, I
have our
didn't get
cameras
assigned.
muted.
Oh, you guys know, you guys never, no, it's not because of your camera. It's not. Okay, I can put you guys in rooms, no problem. You're going to one. Here we go.
What's up, bro?
What's happening?
I'm playing the sax.
I thought that was you, FX Rich. Awesome alto sax.
I was hearing some good stuff.
Uh-huh. Hey, Miss Dorcas, you looking beautiful.
Thanks
I
for
was just
sending
getting
me
ready
to
to
the
say, she
breakout
had a
room,
new-
T. Gray. I appreciate it. I was in a great breakout.
Oh my God, me too. We went back on the same. I was so excited that we were back on the same breakout room because we didn't have time to finish the other one. So it was like, wow.
I heard somebody calling my name. What did I do?
I said, thank you for sending me to a breakout room. I was in a great breakout room.
Oh man, awesome. And you know what? I'm sure that they appreciated having you there, Diana Hardy.
Yep.
We're gonna need a part 2, T. Gray.
All right, yeah, we're gonna need a part 2 because here's why we're gonna need a part 2. I have more for you. Can you believe that? I mean, like, we're never gonna come and give you garbage. All right. So just to kind of give you guys a preview, next week we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about scripts and conversations. What to say, how to engage people in the conversations and ultimately convert that to business. We're going to also talk about the tools you need to work smarter. We're going to talk about these different tools that are going to help you. Scheduling tools, content creation tools. We're going to talk about going live. Okay. So we have all of that. And then we're going to also give you your bonus gift at the end of next week's training. All right. But to use up our last 8 minutes or so, I wanted to give you guys a couple of tools and tips that you need to know right away so that you can be successful this week. And we're going to take a look at your social media. If we follow you, if you make sure that we follow you, we're going to take a look at your social media and see how you do this week. Okay. So Jackie Phillips, you make sure that we know how to see what you're doing. But couple of tips and tricks. First tip, most important tip. If you do this one little thing, it will put you ahead of the game. And you know what that thing is?
Participate.
Nope.
Just do it.
Nope.
Action.
No.
Take action.
Concrete one.
It's 3 words. You ready? Clean your lens. Like for real though. Like before you take a picture, even if it's a selfie, clean the front facing lens. That's why God gave you t-shirts and all sorts of stuff. Sock, clean the lens. Everything is going to be different with a clean lens.
Okay.
All right. So that's number 1. Clean your lens.
Let's play chapstick.
All right. Couple of your chapstick, right? Definitely chapstick. Right. Then a couple of other things. Number 1, get you a light. Just a little light. It clips on the camera.
Let's see.
Real simple. Right. And if it's charged, keep it charged, by the way.
Yeah, the Android don't need that, by the way.
Yeah, it does. Right. And it has different brightnesses.
I'm just kidding with you.
And temperature. You know, so you can make yourself, because if you just put a light on yourself, you might be looking washed out. Okay. Like I am right now. You don't want to look like this. Right. But you can see when I change the temperature, you can see my skin tone changes. The light is still on me. Right. So now that looks more natural, but it's a little bit more lit. And all I did was I changed the makeup of the light. So this was like 20 something bucks on Amazon. Here's another. Here are 2 more of my favorite tools. They travel in my briefcase. This is a tripod.
Tripod. Okay.
All right. So this one is a little small one. It travels around with me, and it has a little Bluetooth thing that I can make a remote, right?
Mark got
Stein,
one.
she's got hers, right?
Mark got his.
Yep.
Mark's got his. But now I got to show you my other tripod. I love my other tripod. This is my other tripod.
Where's the 3?
So,
oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
This one goes 6 feet tall.
Oh.
Look at that.
Okay. And it goes nice and compact. Fits in.
It's like a fishing rod.
Backpack. And also it can be used
That's
to
something, lady. We could carry that in our purse, lady. It's so like, it doesn't take room.
Exactly.
In.
So now look, Stein's got all those. Yeah, and Stein, I've got the big professional ones too, and all that. I've got this little light behind my computer, and I have a ring light that's this big too.
You
don't need all of that stuff. You just really need those 2 things. And my other favorite tool is downstairs. Oh man, it's a suction cup mount.
Stein is still pulling things out.
I know she's like me. She collects gadgets, right? But I have this little suction cup mount. It's about the diameter of this at the bottom, and it's like looks like a hockey puck, but you can stick it on any flat surface, and it sucks itself onto it, and it has a strong magnet on the other side for the camera. So if, for example, if you're doing a video, like how many of you guys see the videos I do from Ibüümerang headquarters out by the pool?
Yeah.
I always stick that thing on the glass leading into the house, the sliding door, and I just stand in front of it and I talk. Okay?
And
so those are your tools. Now I got one more tool for you. And who was I talking to? Was it Yvette or Yvonne I was talking to just now? Yvette. ChatGPT. We live in an age where it really doesn't make any sense to not know how to do something. And believe it or not, if you're still using Google, you are behind the curve. Right, Stein? Google's over. So, for example, I was telling Yvette that if I wanted to know how to make a chocolate cake, I would come to ChatGPT. How do I make a chocolate cake?
Bam.
Wow.
Right? But not only is it going to tell me how to make the chocolate cake in great detail, but it's going to ask me for other stuff. It says, do you want a vegan, gluten-free, or microwave mug cake version instead? Just say the word. Right? The question could be, how do I make a post on Instagram? Somebody said they don't know how to make a post. No problem. Step by step.
And it remembered everything, like you could remember everything that you put in there. Like for instance, what you said, like gluten-free or no dairy, or it's going to remember that.
Yeah, well, and what's cool about it, like Danny is saying, is the more you use it, the more it gets to know you. And the more it starts to ask you questions or give you things that are relevant to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my 3, well, she's 4 years old now, but she's having regular conversations with Siri.
Oh, I talk with ChatGPT all the time.
Yeah. She's like everything, Siri.
So ChatGPT, you can give it a voice and a name and let it know your name. Hi, Bradley.
Hey, how's it going? What's on your mind?
Hey, Bradley, what's my name?
Your name is T-Ray. Let me know if you want me to know something else or anything else I can do for you.
Hey, Bradley, I'm here with my friends and I'm trying to help them appreciate how to use ChatGPT. Can you show them how to do pretty much anything that they need to?
You have the mute. You have the mute, Michael.
ChatGPT can help with all sorts of things, from answering questions to brainstorming ideas, writing emails, recipes, you name it. Just let me know what you need, and I'll do my best to help out. So feel free to throw anything at me, and let's see what we can do.
That's me every day. That's me every day. So I would encourage you guys, definitely use your tools. As always, I want to make way for our diamonds to have the last word. So Thierry, I know we only got through part one today, but what words do you have for everybody if you're still here with us?
I would say number one, be intentional with your posts. I want to shout out to Miss Michelle Jacobs. I know she's probably either driving to work or still on her way to work, but she's got a wonderful plan for Monday when it comes to her posts. But honestly, just be intentional. Number two, have fun with it. Do not make it a daunting task to, post and promote yourself, because at the end of the day, this is your business. This is your brand. Just go out there and be yourself. And the more you put yourself out there, the more people are going to want to know more about you and things of that nature. So be consistent, be intentional, and have fun with it. Give the value. I love that book by Gary Vee, because it's very, very true. Because the more you give, then it's more willing. I mean, people are more willing to give you anything because you've gave so much. And I think it goes back to, the science of getting rich, the impression of increase. As much as increases you give into other people, people will be willing to give into you. So just go out there, give the value. And when it's time to, ask, they'll be willing to give it to you. So that's my 2 cents for today.
That's what I'm talking about right there. That 2 cents is like $2 million. All right. All right. PDDJ, you still with us?
Yes, sir.
What you got for us, bro?
No, I think this was all good information. Like Tier just said, just have fun with it. And just show your lifestyle. I'm really big on when I do calls. I don't give them all the information, but I do want to be interesting so that the people can be interested. And so I just show them my everyday lifestyle. Doesn't have to be a post. It can be, like T. Gray said, on your reels, or it can be in your story mode. But just show people what you're doing, and that really gets people excited to learn more. And Topsy said something in our breakout section where the trading and she kind of backed out of trading. Show people your losses too, and get excited about, hey, listen, I lost some money, but I am so excited to join this next call with Donnie Pips, with Coffee and Charts, with my Elevate platform to teach me how I can earn more income. People want to see all that stuff. They don't have to just show your wins. You can show your losses as well. Gary V, you brought the book. Jab jab, what is it? Jab jab hit. I forget what it is.
Jab 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 hook.
Yeah, jab 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 hook. He, I love his journey. He literally showed his process of how he's at where he's at today, and that's why his followings of people are so huge right now, because he showed his losses and he showed his wins. So yeah, just have fun with it. And Tigger, like you said, the screens, make sure your screens aren't ashy. I call it ashy. Make sure you wipe and put some lotion on your screens because that really is a big deal. You cannot sell a dream looking like a nightmare. And you have to, look at this business as the billion-dollar company that it will be. And we have to start treating it like that. So T. Gray, everything you shared today was amazing.
Man, I appreciate you, and we're really going to make you proud next week as we drive it home, and give people a really cool bonus gift for coming. So I appreciate you so much, PDDG. We all do, and let's all band together now. Hey, everybody, I'm going to send you away with your assignment. Your assignment, of course, is to execute your weekly content plan you talked about in the breakout session just now. and promote to everybody else in Iboomerang what they missed this week, right? They really missed something this week, and they're going to miss the rest of the blessing next week if they don't show up. Mark, we'll have this training put up on our iBoom Hub within the next 24 hours, so you'll be able to refer back to it. And then part 2 will be coming right behind that. Love you guys. Have an amazing, 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 amazing weekend. And we will see you guys next Saturday. Oh, we'll see you guys on Bitcoin and Beyond. And then we'll see you on with Mr. Bugs. Keep rocking.
Wonderful. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Thanks. See you later.
Boom.
Bye.
Yeah, I had a lot on my plate. I just want it to be great. It's been a long time, I can't wait. So I had to elevate. I need me the stars in the race. Yeah, it's gonna come, I got faith. Buy it for the low and sell when it's high. Know I gotta get the bank when I trade. Elevate, 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 elevate. I had to take it to the next level. Going to the moon like it's a space shuttle. All of my profits, they really gon' double. My chick got my back like we all in a huddle. Elevate my life right now. I never panic when numbers go down. Be patient, just wait it out. Money coming in at the speed of sound. It ain't easy, put the work in. I promise all the time it's worth it. Made a million out of selling, and it all turned out perfect. Too many blessings, they coming my way. I need a crib with a pool in the gate. I can't let none of my time go to waste. It ain't a race, but I picked up the pace. I had a lot on my plate. I just want it to be great. It's been a long time, I can't wait. So I had to elevate. I need me the stars in the race. Yeah, it's gonna come, I got faith. Buy it for the low and sell when it's high. Know I gotta get the bank when I trade. Elevate, 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 elevate.
I had to elevate, get about my comfortable zone. Nobody else gon' do it for me. I had to do it on my own. Yeah, this is the life that I chose. Everything I touch turn to gold. Greatest story ever told. Yeah, I'ma tell them how it goes. Hey, yeah, every day I gotta elevate. Show them how it's done, I demonstrate. I'm going up cause I levitate. Put in my all, I dedicate. I just had to find a better way. I stay on my grind like every day. I elevate, I elevate, I elevate.
I had a lot on my plate. I just want it to be great. It's been a long